Footballers are quite a rare species. Over the years, we've seen footballers getting all the hype to be the next big thing. In some cases, these players live up to the hype, but in others, they don't fulfill their potential. Today, we look at the top 5 most overrated footballers of all time. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified of our latest video. Number 5. Neymar. Neymar was called Brazil's best player since Ronaldinho. So many people even named him the next Pelé. As a young player, the world was amazed about how supreme his skills were. For Neymar, the world slowed down a bit. Scoring 304 goals in 500 games is enough to enter Neymar into the League of Football Legends. And no doubt about it, Neymar is an amazing player. But we all know he's never blossomed to his full potential. Everyone expected Neymar to lead the next generation of talented Brazilians to a golden generation of footballers. Since his time at Barcelona, every football club knew Neymar was an absolute gift of a footballer. But he, Neymar, always wished to be centre of attention. Not Messi, not Suarez, just him. In 2017, he joined PSG as the most expensive signing in football, worth €222 million. Neymar would become the best player in League One, but for some reason, he always had a question mark on his head. The performance of the Zambia genius on big occasions has made many football fans brand him as an overrated player. In the 2022 World Cup, Neymar failed to inspire arguably the greatest Brazil team of his generation past a much weaker Croatian side. The Seleção failed to win the World Cup with their best chance possible because Neymar disappeared. Being a senior player in the squad, Neymar failed to take a knockout penalty against Croatia. This is what the big players do. They take responsibility. As great of a player as he is, Neymar's outlandish attitude, diving and theatrics makes him a mixed bag to watch. Lots of people would like Neymar more if he didn't dive enough. Compared to the footballers he is much more gifted at, Neymar has a pretty underwhelming work ethic. Neymar has also failed to improve his physique. Ronaldo and Messi, for how gifted they are, have to put on more muscle mass as they know defenders will try to get at them. But Neymar, he's remained the same ever since. Neymar has been injured every year at PSG and has never made more than 30 appearances. Neymar has never been close to his full potential, even though he's not exactly been a disappointment as well. Number 4. David Beckham. We could argue that no one beats David Beckham with his looks and the swing of his right boot. He bridged the gap between celebrities and footballers. That is why he is probably overrated. When it comes to football in general, David Beckham is anything but a complete footballer. For some people, Beckham was a genius, but for others, he was a dead ball merchant. Even George Best had this to say about Beckham. He cannot kick with his left foot, he cannot head a ball, cannot tackle, and doesn't score many goals. Apart from that, he's alright. Even if old George said not too glamorous things in the past, he has a little spot with Beckham. David Beckham was quite the star in England and played a crucial role in the rise of Manchester United in the late 1990s. Towards the end of his career, David Beckham played for AC Milan and PSG, and in both teams, he was there arguably for marketing reasons. Because, as we all know now, David Beckham sells. Now, David Beckham had an incredible career and is probably harshly overrated, but he is overhyped due to his marketing pull. I mean, every club would do anything to get a player that fulfills the sports and marketing side of things. For David Beckham, there is a blurry line between overhyped and overrated, and in that line is where David Beckham is. Number 3. Cristiano Ronaldo. Right, before you cut off or anything like that, I'm well aware that this is a very controversial suggestion. So much so, the team here at Goal Line have been discussing this entry. The scriptwriter is a massive Cristiano Ronaldo fan, whereas the presenter, myself, is not a fan of Ronaldo. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner Cristiano Ronaldo is undoubtedly one of the greatest players of all time. He's scored goals and more goals in every club he's played in. Until 2021, Cristiano Ronaldo was regarded as the greatest player to ever grace the beautiful game. But in 2 short years, the legendary player has played himself into a position where everyone thinks he's just always an overrated player. Ronaldo's 2021 move to Manchester United was a jackpot for some, and others thought it was a disaster waiting to happen. While the goals followed Cristiano Ronaldo to England, he sort of turned the entire club into disarray. His tantrums whenever the team doesn't win, and especially when he doesn't score, only puts his former achievement into sharper focus, with many believing that Ronaldo, being the greatest of all time, was high praise for him in the past. Ronaldo's eternal rival Lionel Messi's triumph in the World Cup has probably put him in a bad spotlight in terms of being the greatest of all time debate as well. It's probably unfair to call Ronaldo overrated, but if we expect to perform like his 31-year-old self, he's overrated at that point. Number 2. Paul Scholes. No doubt, Paul Scholes is a magnificent footballer. He was a key player in the best of Manchester United Football Club. Many football legends even tout Paul Scholes as one of the best footballers of his generation. Thierry Henry even says the Arsenal team was scared of how good Paul Scholes was. But sometimes people rate him higher than he is. Paul Scholes has received 97 yellow cards in his career, the 5th highest in Premier League history. For a midfielder, Paul Scholes always gets too many yellow cards in many matches. These yellow cards become costly for his team. In one of the biggest controversies, Paul Scholes retired from the English national team at just 29. Many people believe that Scholes retired from the team because he was given a graveyard position to play in. Former Premier League midfielder Curtis Woodhouse also disagrees with the Scholes is the best midfielder of all time myth. According to Curtis, Scholes had no reason to be a wonderful player. He had Keane next to him playing with Giggs and Beckham on either side. Number 1. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic thrives on his ego. With over 30 career trophies and over 500 career goals to his name, it's probably fair to cut the legendary Swede some slack. He's won trophies in 4 of Europe's top 5 leagues and is always the centre of attraction wherever he goes. Were it not for the fact that he refers to himself in the third person and talks in quotes like, "I can't help but laugh at how perfect I am. When you buy me, you are buying a Ferrari. If you drive a Ferrari, you put premium petrol in the tank. You hit the motorway and you step on the gas." Guardiola filled up with diesel and took a spin in the countryside. He should have bought a Fiat. "I won't be the king of Manchester, I will be the god of Manchester." We'd admit that he's an all-time great, but aside from his football heroics, the footballing landscape would look differently on Zlatan. While Zlatan was swimming in a valley of Scratetto during his time in Italy, he was massively underwhelming in Europe. Expectantly, when Jose Mourinho swapped Zlatan Ibrahimovic for Samuel Eto'o in 2009, Inter Milan won the Champions League, an honour that has eluded the Swede to this day. Although Zlatan has gotten his hands on the next best thing, the Europa League title, it is quite underwhelming for an all-time great. It's not just the highest stage of club football that Zlatan has failed to turn up. At the national team, Zlatan hasn't done much to help his cause. In the 2018 World Cup, Ibrahimovic declared, "A FIFA World Cup without me is not worth watching." That's not the case considering Zlatan has never scored a World Cup goal in his entire career. In America, Abramovic's side barely finished 7th in the league table. It's clear that Zlatan is a brilliant individual footballer, but it's quite clear that he hasn't been deeply needed by any of his teams. Did you enjoy this video? Let us hear your thoughts. Do you know of any more overrated footballers? Let us know in the comments section below. And for more content, check out 5 players who went from friends to enemies in this video. Until next time.